Hello students, in this video I am going to discuss the graphical representation of the menstrual cycle. The explanation of menstrual cycle and its hormonal impacts we have discussed in my last video. In this video I am going to show you the graphical representation of whatever we have discussed. To understand this graphical representation is very important. Okay, so first of all let's draw it. Okay, I hope the board is entirely visible, otherwise you won't be able to see whatever I am going to write now. So first of all we are going to write the phases, but then before that we have to mark the days of a month. Okay, so if I consider it as starts from 1, this one, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, so it is not taking the entire place, entire board. So within a small portion only I will be able to explain things. So now see, 28 days we have marked. Now let's write it. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27, and this is 28. Okay, and now let's write the phases. First we have seen the menstruation phase. Okay, so let's label it first. Menstruation phase is here in the beginning. So it is the menstruation I think I should have made a little gap here. I'm giving a larger gaps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, so total 28 now. Let's number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 23, 25, 27, 28. 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21, 22, 25, 27, 28. Okay, now the phases. First is the menstruation phase. So this is the first, this is the menstruation phase. Okay, so 1 to 5, first 5 day is the menstruation phase. Okay, then it will be what? Follicular phase. From 6th day, from here. So if I mark it in a different color so that it will be understood. The green, let me do it. So you can understand this is the phase here, the menstruation phase. From 6th day to 11th day on an average, this phase, it is the follicular phase. Okay, and then after this 12 to 14, so let's make it like at this level. Okay, this is here the ovulatory phase. Ovulatory phase. Okay, and then we see here the next one from 15 to 28. This phase is the luteal phase. Okay, luteal phase. Okay, now on this axis we are going to write the some events. First of all, we will be writing here uterine events. Okay, the first we will be discussing here uterine events. Okay, so first I have written here uterine events. I am dictating it so that if the letter is not visible, so that you can hear at least. So uterine events I have written here. Suppose this much. After this, ovarian hormone levels. Ovarian hormone levels. Okay, so this much area I am keeping for ovarian hormone level, and then it is the ovarian events. Let's see, ovarian events. Let's keep this much area, and then pituitary hormone level. Okay, this much. So I am dividing in four the topics that I am going to discuss here, along with according to the phases. Okay, so first is this area. Let's mark it separately. This part here, I am going to show you that what are the events that takes place in the ovary. Okay. Okay, see, menstruation phase. So here what happened? Here is the bleeding. It means the menstruation exactly that takes place, where the unfertilized egg along with the broken parts of the endometrium wall supposed to bleed out of the body, right? So this area, because in the starting it will be more, slowly it will move down. Okay. So bleeding here, and then after this follicular phase. From the follicle, see here what happens. Here the endometrium wall breaks. So this is the green line I am showing, the endometrium wall breaking down. Okay, through the blood it comes out. Now from the follicular phase what happens, the endometrium wall starts building up again, right? So again from here start building. Ovulatory phase, it keeps on building the endometrium wall. Luteal phase, again it's much more developed endometrium wall. Okay, and then what happens, by the end of the luteal phase, okay, the endometrium wall now will starts breaking down again. So after 28, okay, then it continues. So actually this part, okay, it is the first part. The menstruation phase will start here. So let me write here. So the menstruation phase here, it will start. Again, okay, after completing luteal, again menstruation will start. So this phase I am showing here again. So we can see here from here how endometrium wall builds up in the uterine events. So here it is shown that endometrium wall building. What happens during the menstrual cycle? What happens during the menstrual cycle in the uterus? because it is uterine events we are discussing. So during menstrual cycle, the whole menstrual cycle, the endometrium wall builds up in the uterine. So that is why I try to show the endometrium wall build up here. So first of all it breaks down, again it starts developing, it increases as the phase move ahead, and then again towards the end it starts breaking down, menstruation starts there. Clear? Okay. Now next is the ovarian hormone level. Okay, ovarian hormone level we will see here now. Blue and red. Okay, ovarian hormones. What are those ovarian hormones? First of all, estrogen and progesterone, if you remember. Now recall those the events and the level of hormone or estrogen and progesterone hormone secretion. In which level what was the hormone secretion? Same. Ovarian hormone level, first of all estrogen. Let's talk about estrogen. I am showing estrogen with the blue. Estrogen level in the menstrual phase it remains low. So like this. Okay. Now in the follicular phase also estrogen remain low, if you remember, because this lower level of estrogen only triggers the anterior pituitary gland to release more of FSH. So ovulatory phase here the estrogen level triggers because follicles release estrogen. After formation of follicle, the mature follicles start secreting estrogen more in amount. So in the ovulatory phase, estrogen level will go up. Okay, again moves down. Luteal phase, what happens? Estrogen level goes down, and then one time comes when it little increases a bit. Okay, so not this much. Let's make it little. Let's keep. Okay, so this is what the condition. Okay, so this is the estrogen level. Menstruation phase it is low, follicular still it is low, ovulatory phase estrogen level increases, secretion. Then again goes down, and again during luteal phase you can say, during luteal phase let the peak be start from little before the time. Just 1 second. Okay. Luteal phase estrogen also secrete comparatively compared to this condition it is a little more. Okay. Now if we look at the FSH secretion now, progesterone secretion. Progesterone secretion, these three phases. Okay, if we look at these three phases, the progesterone level remains low. Okay. Understood? Luteal phase starts more. If you remember, once the ovulation takes place, the remaining part of the Graafian follicle that transformed into corpus luteum, and corpus luteum now starts secreting more of progesterone. Now, which now going to dominate over the building up of endometrium wall. See the level now. The progesterone level is much higher than the estrogen level during the luteal phase. So progesterone level dominates mainly, okay, in this phase, and then estrogen level also plays role, but progesterone is of having more domination over the building up of endometrium wall. Understood? So this is the estrogen and progesterone level. So let me write here. This is the progesterone, and the blue one is the estrogen. Okay. The green one was endometrium wall, right? So right here only. It is endometrium wall. Okay. Now see here, ovarian events now. What happens in the ovary during these phases? Okay. See, menstruation phase. menstruation phase, when the first menstruation phase comes, then what happens? The unfertilized egg released out of the body through the menstruation, right? So let's use both the colors blue and green. Okay, with the blue I am showing the cell here. So first there is a small cell around which there is layering of Graafian follicle, you can say, okay, which is supposed to release out here. Okay, now what happens from the follicular phase? Okay, the new follicles start developing. Means from the primary follicle start, then secondary, then tertiary, then Graafian follicle again develops. So in the follicular stage, the cell we see, this cell is the what? This is the primary oocyte, if you remember. This blue cell inside during menstruation phase, this is the secondary oocyte. The actual egg, mature egg, surrounded by not Graafian follicle, I am sorry. It is a what to say, the zona pellucida layer, you can say. Okay, so let's draw it in a different way so that we can identify it separately. Okay, this is the secondary oocyte or the egg cell, around which we see zona pellucida layering. Okay, now this is the primary oocyte. We see here around which primary follicle develops. So let's draw it from here only, because during follicular phase only all the 4 stages I have to show. So primary follicle develops, secondary follicle develops, tertiary follicle develops, and then Graafian follicle develops here. Okay, so now this is the primary follicle around it, this is the secondary follicle here, this is the tertiary follicle here. Okay, and now we see here the Graafian follicle. Okay, so 4 stages, it should not be confusing here. Primary follicle, secondary follicle. So this is the primary follicle stage, this is the secondary follicle stage, this is the tertiary follicle stage, and this is the Graafian follicle stage. Okay, and what is the change takes place? The cell inside. In the beginning, it was the primary oocyte, and when the Graafian follicle formed, by the time the inside cell matures into secondary oocyte. So the actual egg cell already developed here by the end of follicular phase. Okay, if you concentrate here, it is very easy to understand. So all the follicles develop, and inside the follicles, the layers, the primary oocyte developed into secondary oocyte already. Okay, and now the ovulatory phase supposed to start with. So what will happen is that there will be rupturing of the Graafian follicle will rupture, and the egg is going to come out. Okay, now egg is going to come out here, which is surrounded by, again, zona pellucida layer is there. Sorry. Okay, this one. Zona pellucida layer developed. Okay. This is here during this stage, Graafian follicle, the antrum is also developed, the cavity where the secondary oocyte there. Okay, so if I draw this stage little better way, then it will be like this. This is the secondary oocyte in it, okay, and this part, the free space, is the antrum. Clear? I hope now it's understood. So antrum I have included here. So Graafian follicle, within which the antrum, the free cavity, and the secondary oocyte of the egg cell is there. Now it's get ruptured, and the ovulation that takes place, ovulatory stage, ovulation takes place. Okay, so match this one. Understood? And now what happens after this luteal phase fusion start? If the egg is not fertilized, then what will happen? Then this Graafian follicle, remaining Graafian follicle, will be converting into what? Corpus luteum. Okay, so let's draw it with a this is a structure, just to I'm just making you understand a little bit. Okay, actually the color is supposed to be yellow. The corpus luteum looks like a yellowish substance, so I don't have the yellow right now with me. Now this is the corpus luteum here. Okay, now later on what happens, as there is failure, no fertilization, so this corpus luteum going to regress into corpus albicans. So structural damage, structural deterioration you can say. So it will be converting into very small structure, that is called the corpus luteum, corpus albicans, corpus albicans. Okay, and then what will happen, slowly this also further will be regression, very down structure. So structurally it is damaging slowly. So by the time of the end it will be finished. Okay, end of luteal phase, the structurally the whole corpus luteum going to destroyed. So this is what the event that takes place, okay, in the ovary during the phases. Understood? Now the pituitary hormone level, if you remember, let's use it again, the blue and the red. Okay, pituitary hormone level, pituitary hormones are what? FSH and LH now. Okay, so FSH level starts where? Follicle stage. So during the menstruation phase, the FSH level remains low, right? Low. Follicular phase, the FSH increase in a very high amount. Okay, and then slowly what happens? The follicular level, follicle's function is finished. So follicular hormones role is also finished. Follicles develop in the follicular phase, so this role also finished. So level goes down. Okay. Now LH hormone, luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone, what happens during the follicular phase? Okay, luteinizing hormone plays a very small role here. Okay, mainly the FSH performs. Now ovulatory phase, if I come to the ovulatory phase, if you know, LH will be secreted now again, which are going to rupture the Graafian follicle. So here little trigger of the follicular phase, the LH hormone, again it will be done. Okay, so here little trigger in secretion of LH, so that it would what? It would during the ovulatory phase, it is supposed to rupture the Graafian follicle. So this Graafian follicle is ruptured due to the trigger of the estrogen level. The LH. Okay, LH ruptured the Graafian follicle, ovulation takes place during ovulatory phase. So the blue one is the LH and the red one is the FSH. So let's differentiate the levels here. This is the ovarian hormone level shown here, and from here Okay. Ovarian events and then hormone level, usually hormone level. I hope this graph you understood. So go through this part again and again, so that this part has to be very much clear to you. Okay. So according to the phases, okay, the events, the level, the function of hormones, the events takes place in the uterus, in the ovary, hormonal level of ovarian hormonal level and pituitary hormone level. According to the stage, it is graphed, represented here. So any question can be made on this graph during the examination, in the examination. Okay, so prepare it. If you want, you can make notes also out of it. Whatever probable questions will be there, I'll be giving. Still, I want you that you must make a short note on the basis of your understanding whatever I have discussed now in this video. Okay, you study and make a note on your own language, because this note making, this understanding actually going to help you in the examination. Question answers just to see at the last moment. Fine. So this is the most important topic I choose to discuss today. Now, few theoretical parts I am going to discuss. Just give me 1 second. Let me check once. Okay. So now we are going to I'm going to discuss a part of the fertilization and fertilization. Implantation I will do in the next video. See, fertilization takes place after insemination. Okay, fertilization takes place after insemination. Okay. Okay, guys, just give me 1 second. Let me take a let me click a photo of this so that I can send the picture to you. Just give me some moment. I am trying to take a photo of this so that later on I can send you. Just give me a moment. Okay. So let's continue. So fertilization. Fertilization is the fusion of the male and the female gametes. Okay. Before that, insemination is important. What is insemination? Insemination is deposition of millions of sperm in the vagina during the sexual intercourse. That is the insemination. And then from there, the sperm's traveling starts from vagina to the cervical canal to the uterus and then to the fallopian tube. Okay. Now, where exactly the fertilization takes place? Fertilization takes place in the ampullary ischemic junction. Okay. There is a turning, as we have seen. So I am just rubbing this part. Okay. I have taken the photo. So whoever will be required, I will be sending. So now see. If it is the, I am just in a short, I am just showing you. Okay. So here, in this direction, for example, the sperm moves. This is the fallopian tube. This is the ampulla. This is the isthmus part. This is the turning point. It is known as ampullary ischemic junction. Okay. Ampullary ischemic junction, where the egg gets supposed to get fused with the sperm. And remember, there is a condition behind it. What is the condition? Both the sperm and the egg supposed to reach to this junction simultaneously. Otherwise, the fertilization will not take place. There will be failure of fertilization. It will not be leading to pregnancy. If it is fertilized also, then also it will not be leading to pregnancy. What is the reason behind that? That I will discuss later on. Okay. So when I will discuss the zygote development, then I will discuss that why that distance does matter, the location does matter. In this position, the egg and the sperm must reach simultaneously at the same time. Otherwise, little difference in time reaching to this location, okay, it will be a failure. It will not lead to pregnancy. That's why it is said that every copulation, every intercourse doesn't lead to pregnancy. Why? Because of the failure of reaching the sperm and the egg simultaneously in this junction, at this junction. Okay? So this is a very important condition. Now, then if they reach, then obviously fertilization takes place, and then it will be forming zygote. Zygote will be moving here, and it is going to implant in the endometrium wall. These steps I will be discussing in my next video. Now, students ask me a question that why only one sperm fused with the egg? Why not more? So I have made a note on this. The questions like this: can it happen that more than one sperm cell enters the oocyte in humans? The answer is that it can happen, but it is incredibly rare and results in an inviable embryo. Okay? Inactive, not movable. This is such an important problem in humans and other species that two separate biological systems have evolved to prevent it from happening. So there are two different events that take place to prevent it from happening. So that polyspermy should not happen. Okay, because if it happens also, okay, the zygote will be useless. It will not be developing into embryo, so nothing will happen. Okay. So what are those events? First is that first block, and the second is the slow block. So first block and slow block, two processes are there. Okay. First block takes place, it has been seen in those organisms, the oocytes where it fetches, the oocyte that fetches a number of the sperms at the same time. Okay, when the oocyte fetches the number of sperms at the same point of time. Okay, in that case we see the first block process is applied to prevent polyspermy. So this mainly seen in the amphibians, where many sperms comes together simultaneously, okay, towards the oocyte to get fused. At that point of time, this first block process. So what happens? Suppose this is the egg here. When one sperm fused here, okay, and nucleus is released here, then in the same point of time, when it gets fused, at the same point of time, many ion channels are opened along the membrane, cell membrane, oocyte membrane. Many ion channels they open. When the ion channels open, sodium gates mainly. Ion channels mainly, if I say sodium gates. What happens is that sodium, positively charged sodium ions start entering into the oocyte from the surrounding area matrices. Okay, the sodium, positively charged sodium starts entering through the channel into the oocyte. Okay, so now what happens is, as a result of which it converts the plasma membrane which is there around the cell. Okay, it makes it positively charged. Okay, so from the negative charge, the cell membrane becomes positively charged. Okay, or positively charged, around it becomes positively charged, the cell membrane, because of the sodium influx. Now this positive charge condition, this prevents the other sperms to enter into the egg cell. Okay, so this is the first block process. Now if we talk about the slow block, what happens? Slow block we see in the humans. In many of the species we see the slow block to take place. Okay, what happens in the slow block now? In the egg cell, inside the oocyte, okay, inside the oocyte, towards the cortex, means towards the periphery, there are many cortical granules present. Okay, inside the oocyte only towards the cortex, means periphery, many cortical granules are present, and here it is the plasma membrane. Okay, perivitreal space is there. Now what happens there? When a sperm enters, suppose I am just removing it. Once a sperm enters here, the nucleus entering here, one fusion takes place. Immediately what happens is that these cortical granules, they actually consist of many enzymes. Okay, so from this cortical granules there will be some, we can say that these enzymes will be secreted outside into the extracellular matrices. So this, first of all, what will happen, let me tell you, before the releasing of the enzyme, once the sperm enters here, these cortical granules which are towards the periphery but not attached to the membrane. If you look at the diagram, the granules are towards the periphery but they are not attached to the membrane. So now once it happens, fertilization, one sperm fuses here, first of all these cortical granules, they get attached to the plasma membrane. Okay, so they get attached to the plasma membrane part like this. I am just doubling it and showing you that how they are actually getting attached to the plasma. They moved actually towards the plasma membrane and they get fused, attached to the plasma membrane. And then what happened, through these cortical granules, enzymes get released in the extracellular matrix part. Extracellular matrix part means towards the outside. Okay, so now what happens, these enzymes which are secreted in the extracellular matrices, they form a layer, they modify the plasma membrane also. This plasma membrane which is present here, okay, these enzymes from the granules, they also modify the plasma membrane also. Okay, and this modification in the plasma membrane, these enzymatic modifications in the plasma membrane, okay, prevents the other sperms to enter into the egg cell. All this area of the plasma membrane is sealed properly by the enzymatic modification, okay, in the plasma membrane. So it prevents the other sperms to enter into it. This is the slow block process that takes place in the human and other mammalians. This is how the polyspermy is prevented here. I hope you understood this. So again and again you replay whatever I am discussing and listen to it very carefully again and again. And then if you have still are having with some doubts, I am always there. You can clear your doubts. Now just one last point I am going to give you. The slow blocks. This contents means the enzyme which are present in the cortical granules. One or two names I am giving of those enzymes which are present here and help in the slow blocking process. Okay. Number one, the enzyme is protease is one enzyme which is released from the cortical granules. Second is peroxidases. Okay. Proteases, peroxidases. Another one is glysaminoglycans. Okay, so these are the three important enzymes which are present in the cortical granules as a content, which are released in the extracellular matrix, which brings modifications in the plasma membrane, which prevents the polyspermy. Okay, so this is it for today. I hope you understood whatever I have discussed. Okay, so again and again, please go through this video. Please make note out of it, whatever you want, what you are getting from my discussion. And I am there always. You are welcome, for the questions. And in the next videos, I am going to discuss with the after fertilization, the zygote that is developed, how the development of zygote takes place. Okay, that part I will cover along with the implantation part. I will cover. Okay, so thank you very much for this video watching. So
I hope that it is going to help you a lot. Thank you.